Hello, World of Tank Blitzers, it's a Littlefinger, and I'm excited because we're halfway through this equipment review. Yes, part 5 of a 9-part series, and this is Vitality Tier 2. Enhanced Armor gives you 4% additional armor to the hull and turret, basically the entire tank. And Improved Assembly gives you 6% to the tank's hit point pool. So the concept is pretty simple. Do you want 4% more armor or do you want 6% more hit points? Well, it gets more complicated, obviously, as we start to break it down. The first thing I would suggest doing is looking at the tier of the tank that you're playing. And I've got tier 10, I've got 2 heavies, 2 TDs, 2 mediums, and 2 lights. And going across the board, what I would suggest is trying to find out what the average pen is going to be at your tier. You should know this already. Probably ignore the TDs. So we're looking at right at 250. Let's just switch these over to premium to get a feel for that number. And look at this, we're right at 290 to 300. So 250 to 300 is, where we need our armor to be above so that we're going to get more ricocheted shots. Now, using Blitz stars down here is a little bit more difficult because as I pull this into view here, let's get the crap out of the bottom there. If you look at the armor numbers, and we'll take the Jagdpanzer for example. Well, it's listing it as 200 on the hull. Peek here at Armor Inspector, it's giving you this number right here, 200 across the hull. You've also got this number down here, 150, and you've also got this number up here, 250. All right, so you're getting 4% increase to all of these numbers. And it really depends on your tank and your play style, I think, as to whether or not you want to go with the extra armor. If you can get the Jagdpanzer E100 into a position here where you're over 300 mil, now if we add an additional 4%, we're over 320. This tank in this position, hiding the lower plate, is going to be impenetrable with this additional armor. Alright guys, let's take a look here at the AMX-50B in Armor Inspector, and as you can see, there is nowhere on this tank other than the hull where your effective armor is over that 250 mark. So really what that tells me here is there's absolutely no point getting 4% additional armor with the enhanced armor. Therefore, you want to go with the additional hit points. Alright, now let's take a look at the WZ-121, which is a tank known for its really strong turret. You can see here the hull, your effective armor is going to be right close to that 250 number that we were talking about. And then around the outside of the turret there, you've got a lot of places that are above 250, even above 300, which is perfect. Problem with this tank is you've got a little bit of a weak spot right around the gun where you're in between that 250 and 300. Now, if we go with enhanced armor on this, we're going to get this up just right under that 300 mark, making the complete turret impenetrable. And to me, that's going to be more important than getting 6% of hit points back in this tank. Alright guys, so to summarize this, what I would do is I would go to a website like BlitzStars and get a good feel for what the average pen is for the tier that you're primarily going to be playing in this tank, which obviously is going to be the tier of that tank. You could also up tier at 1. But get a good idea of what that average pen is and what the premium pen is. And if you've got a tank that you're sitting right in that area, then I would go with the enhanced armor. You're going to make that tank certainly near impenetrable if you are playing it correctly, guys. Obviously, all of these tanks have strengths and weaknesses. If you're not playing it to your tank's strength, then there's really no point. It doesn't matter, flip a coin, pick whatever you want. But if you've got a tank that does not have the armor that meets those requirements, think of, just in general light tanks, a lot of medium tanks. Then go with the improved assembly because you're getting 6% of your additional hit points. And that's might be 1 out of 5 games that allows you to survive 1 extra shot. So I think that's a more important way to go with this setup. All right, so I hope you got a few tips out of that and have a better understanding of improved assembly versus enhanced armor. And with that, guys, have fun out there. Stay safe. And remember, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.